Hello everyone, I'm Nick from nextstepnick.com and today we're going to talk a bit about Green Hell. So thank you very much to the developers for a code for this game, it's very much appreciated. I had a really good time with the game, but at the same time I feel like you're either going to love this for the realism and the difficulty, or you're going to find it a bit too difficult. First things first, I have to really commend them for though. There's a huge range of difficulty options, so you can make it easier to play if you just want to roam, and the performances and writing is great.
Hey! I made it!
Is everything all right?
Yeah, you can come up.
You do know you have the walkie-talkie, right?
You can come up.
There's some really good writing here and some really good storytelling. It's very reminiscent of games like Far Cry 3. You've got stuff, for example, like the whole drug-fueled run and experience. You've got a lot of interesting story building and storytelling. And the game itself is quite extensive in regard to the way it gives you knowledge and information about where you are. You're basically an anthropologist who's arrived at this island with your wife/partner who has decided to study these tribes, and meanwhile you're looking into the indigenous wildlife and what's going on in the area in regards to the wildlife and plants and fauna. But you take a tumble, they have a bit of a problem themselves, and you need to track them down and also regain knowledge as to what happened to you. It's very reminiscent of games like The Forest and similar titles where you're building and crafting to survive and you're using knowledge of the local area to help you stay alive. For example, if you know there's a poisoned dart frog, maybe don't pick it up by hand, maybe don't try and eat it. And there's a lot of that. There's a lot of foraging and hunting and finding different things, and it's very extensive, but at the same time, this is where I think a lot of players might find it a bit difficult. You can get all sorts of ailments, illnesses and problems from doing the wrong thing, and the information there is quite extensive. I mean, you can get things like parasites from water, food poisoning from food, you have a sanity meter, you have to hunt for food and forage around, and if you eat the wrong things then you're in trouble. If you eat certain things to counteract other things, so for example if you find a certain mushroom that can counteract a poison, that'll work too. The hunting as well is really rewarding. It feels really great when you manage to get a hold of this system and you start to feel like you're in control and you really are a survivor, but at the same time it's not that forgiving. If you don't have a fire, for example, then you're out of luck when it comes to water. You need to find a way to make the water healthy. And likewise with the fishing, like you can see here, it's not just a case of, okay, I see a fish, stab it with a stick. You have to wait, bide your time, really think about the moment, and then you catch your food. Likewise with all of the other different features here, it's really extensive. Your backpack has multiple different slots for different items. There's a crafting system, but it's very a la Minecraft in that you have to put the items together to make sure you've got the right things for different ingredients, and you won't always just know what is going to make what. So for example, you might not know straight away that 2 stones make a dagger. You may die during your first playthrough just finding out the information about things like that, but by the second playthrough you start to feel a bit more confident. Likewise with the injuries, there is a tutorial, but this right now, this clip you're watching, is just the healing process for one injury. So you've got all different things you need to keep track of. So you've got your sanity, you've got your health bar, you've got things like that, but you've also got your body health. So you've got like your mental health and your physical health. Problem with that is, say if you have a scratch on your arm, well you're going to need to find a certain plant that has antiseptic properties that you can then use as a bandage. But to find that, you need to forage and then craft a bandage from that plant. It's not always that easy. I had a problem early on where I got a type of worm that was embedded in my arm, like a parasite. The only way to get that out was to use a fish bone or a knife. I couldn't craft a knife, and I didn't have the ability to catch fish. I didn't realise how to do that, because you have to kind of figure it out. And so I was slowly losing sanity, and it just racked up and I died. And I died a lot playing this. You do die a hell of a lot learning how things work. But at the same time, that's kind of the fun of it. I mean, the first time I heard what happens when your sanity goes down, it really freaked me out. This is when my sanity hit a low point. Check this out. Really genuinely caught me by surprise. So it does have these different features that you don't normally see in these survival games that does set it apart. There's a co-op functionality as well where you can play with friends, and that's really cool, and I really like what they've done there. But at the same time, it can feel a bit of a slog, and you've got to be prepared to die quite a lot to figure out exactly what you're doing. There's a story to guide you through that you can do as well, but you can just craft and enjoy yourself. At the same time, prepare to die. Let's be honest, it really is green hell. It's difficult, it's hard, but it does do some really cool things, and I'd definitely say try it. I mean, the one thing I would say I've learned is don't try and beat a crocodile or an alligator with a stick, because let's be honest, you're not going to win. It's good, but definitely be prepared to die and learn from your mistakes. Anyway, thank you very much for tuning in, guys. Please don't forget to like, share and subscribe if you've enjoyed this, and hopefully I'll catch you again very soon.